Dave from DNA Reptilia here. We have too many rats. We need to build another rack. Alright, we're here out in the garage. It's Wisconsin. 2 days ago it was like 70 degrees. Today it's 35. We're only going to be doing some cutting out here for the wood that we need for the rat rack. What we're going to be using is the Vision V70 tubs, not masonry tubs like a lot of other people use. I have found that the Vision V70 tubs work great for doing rat racks. You can house 1 male, 4 females, and quite a few young to go along with. But we're going to start off by cutting some wood up. Alright, I'm not going to go over the prices for the wood, but I am going to go over the sizes. The reason why I'm not going over the prices is because prices vary depending on the year that you get your lumber and where you actually get it from, I should say. I bought a pile of wood and got a house for free. But anyways, I ripped them down to 1.5 inches by 3/4, and they're still in the 30 plus odd inch length. So what we're going to need, our cut list will be 10 pieces at 33 inches long, 15 pieces at 15 and 13/16 of an inch long. It's a mouthful, I know. And 5 pieces at 12 inches long, and 10 pieces at 29 inches long. As we actually go through the build process, you'll see where each of them end up. And I did do a 3-dimensional render of this entire rack build that is up on our Facebook page. It's in the photos. I put it as its own little album, as I should say. I'll probably link that down below. But we gotta get that's all cutting so I can get all this cool garage and down into our basement. These are the tools that I'm going to use to build the rat rack. Not saying you need 1, 2, 3, 4 different types of brad nailers. Not saying you need all those, but I'm just saying that's what I'm using. I'm using a 4-inch grinder. It works very well. 1/2-inch staples, 1 1/8 staples, 1 3/16 brads. I'm using wheels that I got from Menards, caster wheels. That's the SKU number from Menards. Spending $8 for 4. So, and then good old Black & Decker drill, if you want to call it a drill. No. Okay. Key thing: glue. You gotta glue your pieces together. This is where I build all my racks on. I am doing this down in the basement because, like I said earlier, it's 30 degrees here in Wisconsin. In April again, and in 2 days we're looking at getting 10 inches of snow. And 2 days ago it was 70 degrees. Wisconsin for you. This is where I create all my other stuff. I have laser over there, laser right there, I have a CNC over there. I make stuff. It's not big enough for reptile racks, so don't even ask me. Alright, this is basically the layout that we're gonna do. We got 2 of the 33-inch longs for the sides. We have 1, 2, 3 of the 15 and 13/16 inch long pieces for in the middle, and then a 12-inch. Well, even if it's 10-inch, you'll be fine. That one's like divide up for water bottles and for the food tray. And the reason why we go such an odd width here is to give this whole setup to be an 1/8 inch wider than a Vision V70 tub. That way you get it snug without being too snug. I've built numerous racks. Let's go take a look right now. I'll show you. Alright, as I was saying, I built numerous racks. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 racks altogether that I have built this way. Well, minor changes on each one. You notice that one over there is a little on the shorter side. That was the first one I did. That one's 4 feet tall. I didn't think I had that much room up above it. Like I said, I got short ceilings. Well, that one works. It works fine, except one flaw. Putting food in, there's not a whole lot of room. So that's why I decided to give it a little bit extra height. I measured a lot closer. You can see I got about an inch above the Menards bucket there. Now I got plenty of room to get a whole scoop of food in here with no issues. Now I changed the width on that one. That one, every once in a while when I pull out one of these, it falls a little bit because it's just a little too wide. This one's a lot better, but by the time I got to this one right here, I basically got it fine-tuned. So the width that I cut those boards at to make the final width for this. Chunkies! Couple days old. But the width that I have it set at is just right. Okay, what I do here is I put a little glue on each end. Easy peasy. Use a brad stapler or a brad nailer. Keep your thumb away. Just tack it in with two brads. Yeah, for right now you're just using 2 brads. Not for structural strength, you're doing it just to keep it in place. Next up, I'm going to put it over into this corner. Show you why. If it's showing up decently, I have a line here. It goes up to there. I got another line going across this way. If I put my wrap frame right into the corner of the plywood, it's sitting there, I know exactly where to put this guy. Just gotta give it a little push. Know where to put that guy. Roughly lining up with that. Main concern is this guy. So you just line it up with my line. Doesn't have to be perfect. It just helps me so I don't have to measure every single one to get this area roughly the same. There you go. That is frame number 1. Alright. Now to give these guys some strength, because it is brad nails and glue, and we're going to need some strength in order to be able to move this around until the glue completely sets. I'm going to put 1 screw in each corner to give it some strength. I'm going to pre-drill the hole first because 3/4 inch pine will split. There's a very good chance of it splitting. Since I put 2 brads in it, one on top, one on bottom, I'll just shoot for the middle. Real simple. switch over to the Phillips and use 1 5/8. Four screws in this one, and let's go through and do the rest. Now, you want to make sure they're all facing the same way. That all of this is facing the same way, so when you put the screen on, they're all on the same side, so they all are quite similar. It'll help with the water. Alright, up next, we're going to put the screen on, the 1/2" mesh that we're going to end up using. Alright, as I was saying, we're going to switch guns. We're going to use 1/2" staples. Put on this mesh. We're using the 1/2" hardware cloth. We're going to staple it down to our frame. We're going to cut it with the, you'll just have to. This hardware cloth, as you well know, it's 2 layers. There's a top layer and a bottom layer. You want the layer that's going to be against the tubs to run in the direction that your tubs are going to be sliding. You want your tubs to actually use that as a guide to run nice and smooth. I built one rat rack with it the opposite way because sometimes these rolls are rolled upside down and it does make a big difference. It's a lot louder opening up the tubs because it's going across all these, going thud 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 thud, instead of gliding across it this way. When you unroll it, make it this corner as good as possible. 1/2" staple. Lower pressures. Thank you, Mr. Compressor. Back to what I was saying. Make this corner nice and straight and square. You want this side that's near you to be as straight as you can without having to go over. You want to go about a little ways, tack it down. Go a little ways, tack it down. You can go in betweens. Nice flat edge. Now here's the fun part. After I get an extension cord, hold on. 4-inch grinder is how I'm going to cut. What we're going to do here, we're going to cut right along the top there. We're going to use this one as a guide. We're going to try to anyways. See, it runs off right there. So we'll come through, we'll use it on the inside, come across. So I might have to throw another staple. Oh, you might have to throw another staple right there as I will be cutting crooked. Cut along there, cut it off until the end. Wear your safety glasses for sure. This will throw a few sparks, but not too many, so you should be alright. Don't worry, we'll turn on the volume. That's all I have left. You only throw 5 of these away. You can use these to make baskets for other animals to actually eat through. See, if you go a little on the slower side, you cut into the wood a little bit. That is completely fine because you're not going to see it. I threw an extra staple there because it looked like I needed a little bit more support. It wasn't too needed. See a little cut into the wood there. You're not going to see that. It's going to be on the bottom. And alongside here, it ran out the side. No big deal. That's why I had to trim it up a little bit. Any marks you put into the wood, don't worry about it. And there we go. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Kindergarten. One of these rolls at 24 feet will do, I believe, up to 7 of these. Actually, it can do 8. Because in order to build 3 racks, I have to buy 2 rolls. 2 24-foot rolls of the 1/2 inch wire. Next step is to put the runners on the legs. I do my racks a little backwards. I put the runners on first and then I attach these on. I have 3 pieces, 3/4 inch plywood for the legs. It is actually cheaper to use 3/4 inch plywood than it is to use 3/4 inch pine. These are cut at 54 inches because I'm only doing 5 tubs. What we need is 1 1/8 brads, not the brads but the staples. Don't want them too short, 1/4 inch too short and it'll just fall apart. We take one of our 29s. When you do something in a repeat, you're always best to have jigs. I have these 2 pieces cut for spacers to go in between each level so I can space out all the levels the same. Once I get the top one done, I just go down from there. This is my spacer that I use in between the guide rail and the frame. This is the tub. Found over experience that this is working, this height is working just right. It's just under 3/4 of an inch. We're actually going to use 2 of these. We're going to put one at the top because that's acting like our frame. Put the spacer in. Put another one just below it. Make it flush with the front. Make sure it's all flush. 1 staple. Like that into place. Go on the other side, we'll go on the back. Make sure it's flush on top. Make sure it's flush on the back. 1 staple. Now, we're going to do the same thing in the middle. Just going to eyeball the middle. Doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. And then, 1 staple. Now we're fairly straight across the top. We want to use a speed square. Forgot to add, this will come in handy for this. Make sure that each leg is fairly straight. Lock it. That one's locked. There. Now they're locked. I put 3 staples across the top and I put 2 down on the bottom. Now it gets real easy. Spacer, spacer. Now it'll be spacer, spacer. Put that tight and you should get it. Now if you really want to double check to make sure you are fairly straight. What I did was I took one of these, put it down the bottom, Since it was in just a little bit, I gave just a little bit of a spread. There you go. Now it'll be 29 inches down here. Forgot to mention, spacer is 9 inches long. Got this one done. The other one's sitting over here. Now I gotta start putting the frames on. You may actually wonder why there's all this gap right here where it's not attached. Why did I cut these at 29 and these at 35? Well, when they're all attached and you want to slide your tub out and you got your water nozzle in here, your tub will actually, once it gets past here, it'll actually drop down just before the water nozzle, so you don't have to take your water nozzles out. Got our little jig right here. I got arrows on it so I know exactly which way I need to face it. Put it in there, hold her snug. One staple. Come down this side. One staple. And then 2 more on each leg. Or I should say 3 staples altogether. Alright, all 5 done. Now I just gotta put the other side down on the table and flip this over. There we go. Now we can get it off this table onto the floor and pack up the table. Alright, that's basically it. I have one tub right here. You get to watch the test fit. There we go. Still need to put a small piece of wood on the back to act as a bump stop so they don't go all the way. Okay, now that I don't have any rats in here, I can show you. See a little bit of a gap right there? That's all the more you want for a gap. That'd even be good for ASFs. If you used 1/4 inch, you can put ASFs in these, because I have some. But that's what you get. And if you make if you cut this board too small, which is a 15 and 13/16, if you cut it too small, you'll actually be rubbing on the side here, and this 3/4 inch board would actually be rubbing on the side of your tub. I mean, yeah, you may think that won't be too bad. You can sand the corner a little bit, but you know, this tub is all the way over. And you can see the tubs do bowl a little bit all the way down, but they are fairly straight. You know, unless you're really pushing it over. These tubs hang real nice. They have the braces in between. There's another one. There's another one to help keep this lip strong, so it will be good for hanging. Alright, I'm going to use 1/4 inch I had some 1/4-inch cedar laying around that I laser cut. About 3 inches. As long as it hangs below the lip, you should be good. I'm using the same staples I used on the legs. So they're gonna be quite long. So I'm gonna put them in on angles. That way, tubs can't come out and they're not sticking out the back. Alright, I forgot to say you need 3 2x4s. It's 17.5. I usually like to cut them last anyways. If I sit these wheels right on the bottom, they just stick up a little bit, and that's exactly what I want. So we'll use this as a placer. There we go. Now, the middle one I actually lay upright. It'll give the whole rack some stability. And it doesn't have to be spaced. Just want it to be as strong as possible. You only need to put like 2 screws in for each wheel. I'm so glad I changed up to these wheels. These are the wheels that I used on all my other racks. I shouldn't have cheaped out. I might be switching them all to these. This roll's so nice. Wow. But yeah, it's crooked. It could be because of my my floor here. Not too worried about it right now. Once I get it in the back room, we'll figure that out. Make sure it rolls halfway decent without too much of a wobble. You know, it just takes the loosening of 2 screws, moving that 2x4 on the bottom on one of the 2 corners, and it'll be level again. Appreciate you guys for sticking around this long, watching this build video of a rat rack using the V70 tubs from Vision Products. Decided to do a little different video because everybody else does masonry tubs. Pretty close. So and I've been using these tubs for good 9 months now, and I haven't had a single chew out. So it's time to share the knowledge with you guys here up on YouTube. If you would, please like, share, subscribe, hit that notification button. You know the routine. Follow us along. We got more DIY stuff coming. Till the next video when we do the watering system on here. Thanks a lot.